Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second series of the day, the grand finals of the Open Qualifiers for the SEA region in the Starlight Eye League Invitational. My name is Dragon Drop, happy to bring in this game, and we did see RRQ beat out Team Evo's 2-0 Boom ID. They were the other semi-finalists. They also 2-0'd their opponent Yao Ming. So now they are here. There's not too much data on them. The last tournament that they played was the TI Open Qualifiers. Won a few matches here and there, but ultimately faltered against a team called Veteran. I'm not sure what round that was in. Don't have the data on the games that they've played on this tournament so far, so I have no idea who they are. I have no idea what they like to play, but they start off with the Nyx Assassin after the Lich and Bad Rider Man, and that does leave the Earthshaker once again available for RRQ, so they're sticking to the guns as far as that is concerned. Zephyr, he's been doing a really good job with that so far in the last two games. And this time around they go back for the Shadow Shaman. Let's see who that I have seen on the profile before. 7 games in the last 3 months. And it does give them a lot of options, right? A lot of extra control between the Hex and the Shackles. Great damage early on for the laning stage, obviously, and these wards giving you the option to push towers easily. Always nice to have. And Earthshaker, don't really need to talk about that hero. We all know what he does. Visage though, let's see who that crops up here and there. Sometimes even as a core position. He's an interesting spot. I think he needs a lot to actually make it work. Need a lineup that is kind of drafted around the Visage, whether it's a core or a support. Does have some decent spells. Like the Grave Chill can be good situationally. Soul Assumption can be amazing situationally. It's very spammable, only limited by a mana pool though, of course, and the damage that you throw out beforehand, so it heavily relies on other people to just fuel up the Soul Assumption for him before he can snag the kill with it or something. Not trivial to make work. And then later down the line, of course, add these familiars. The split pushing potential, the damage potential as well from those are quite significant, especially if you end up going for the classic build with Medallion, the Solar Crest, something like that. Can burst somebody down. Especially if this turns into some sort of Drow strat. With the Earthshaker on the field, it's always a bit iffy. But then again, there's always gonna be a hero that's decent against Drow or Sniper, like heroes that can just jump them. So at some point you're just gonna have to say, alright, we're just gonna have to play around that if you want to go for these kind of strats, and right now, might not be the worst. Nyx Assassin as a 4 position or offlaner can work just as well without any sort of damage buff up. So there's room for that. We'll see what RRQ want to continue with here. Probably another aggressive hero for Logic in the 4th or 5th pick. Shaman should be the 5 Earthshaker. The 4 is still looking for an offlaner. Again, unless I want to mix it up. I'm not too familiar with the team these days, so it's there's always some sort of potential of, alright, yeah, we've run Earthshaker in the 4 position. We also have other options with that hero. Radiant team pick. That is the Troll Warlord. And it kind of fits the bill for Logic. He wants to pick that up, so it's played Slark as well as Ursa before. Heroes that will just run at you, just look for kills after farming up a couple of items here and there, and Troll Warlord can do the exact same thing.
5 seconds remaining.
Works well in conjunction with Shadow Shaman as well, even. Not the most obvious synergy, but there's considering the base damage Shadow Shaman has, he can actually contribute quite a bit, even in the 10 to 15 minute mark. Comes to tower push and it's just straight up hero kills. If he's not shackling somebody, if he's striking somebody, And he can benefit heavily from natural attack speed as well. Darkseer though, a bit of an interesting pick there from Boom ID. Could be perhaps some sort of offlane dual lane together with the Nyx Assassin. The Darkseer obviously in the 3 position. They have combos, obviously with the Impale and yes, familiar drop downs, but they're not particularly easy to execute. Like Impale is a lane stun, like can be missed unless if you don't time it perfectly. Then after the vacuum, people might scatter again, and you would hit everyone with the Impale. So in that sense, it would be better to have someone like a Slardar to do that, or the Sven fits the mode as well. Darkseer Sven, classic combo, very strong, extremely strong even. Right? Get any heroes in that vacuum combo with the Sven stun and his God Strength going, he's just gonna cleave everybody down. So that's something that RRQ will have to deal with. They're only committed for the Witch Doctor, so maybe a Dazzle or something like that would have been better in this situation, just for the extra armor, the weave, the heals, the Shallow Grave, but well, they have some heals regardless. Also puts the Earthshake in an offlane role that I was talking about. At least in normal drafts, and this is a mid-shadow shaman, which would be hilarious, but I don't really see that. Could be some weird aggro lane as well, of course. We shall see. Cold Warlord is a hero that doesn't necessarily need too much help. At the very least, if he's just sold up against the Darkseer, right? He can handle that. All the same, he'll probably benefit of Witch Doctor and or Shadow Shaman down there, because with those heroes, they actually have a decent amount of lockdown level 1 to be able to even kill him a couple of times. Nyx Assassin is also hanging around down there though. It's or up there, as on the rail side, the offlane.
5 seconds remaining.
Bit of a different story. I actually have that criticism about this draft UI. I think, yeah, it's counterintuitive because Radiant's at the top, but on the map they're in the bottom, like bottom left hand corner. The draft in the top. Oh well. Last pick here for Boom ID. Gonna have to pick up a mid, but whatever they choose, RRQ will have the opportunity to counter it. Such is the nature of having the last pick.
5 seconds remaining.
There's still plenty of reserve time left as well, so let's think about what they need. Could use some tower push actually. They don't have a whole lot of that. So right now, the whole shtick is pickoffs with the Nyx Assassin, just scouting and setting up for something. Darkseer Sven, big ass combo, a bit of split push and utility from Visage. That's kind of what they have right now. If they don't win team fights with that, then they won't be able to get towers. So maybe something like Dragon Knight even in mid could be good, I feel like. Death Prophet even could be interesting. Double down on that physical damage.
Dire team pick.
We'll see. Silencer. Yeah, I can see that. I actually like that quite a lot more than DK. It's susceptible to ganks early on, especially in the middle lane. This is like a support silencer in a mid Nyx. One if they want to consider that as an option here, depending on what they see from RRQ. But like on paper, silencer as the combo breaker, Earthshake blinking in top of somebody else, throw out the global silence. All of a sudden, okay, what do I do? We had the same going on in game 1 with EOS up against RRQ. That worked to some degree.
You may now select your heroes.
Nasty. Very nasty. Alright. Yabe on the Viper. So it's a hero that Silencer does not deal well with at all. Period. Neither does Nyx Assassin, so it's what you would expect. Once again, last pick advantage in that regard. RRQ making good use of that. Should also be strong enough, decent enough against the rest of that lineup. And Viper also, importantly, it's the same kind of timing window that the Troll Waller does, that the rest of the heroes also able to facilitate. This is an early mid-game into mid-game lineup that wants to get their levels, get a few items here and there on the course, Blink Dagger on Earthshaker, or maybe even a Shadow Shaman if you can swing it, and then you just run at people. You take towers, you take team fights. Maybe build a back on somebody. No one really wants to at this point, is the thing. Used to be that Mecha was an item on the Viper, but kind of got nerfed in the mana department, and Vipers need other items that are just much better for them to be effective, like Hurricane Pike being the big one. So that's kind of fallen out of favor, rightfully so in my opinion, but even without a mech, they have the heals from the Witch Doctor. Might just be enough to tide them over. As it stands, this is game number 1 of a best of 3 in the grand finals of the SEA Open Qualifiers for Starlight I-League Invitational. My name is Dragon Drop. The cricket spam starts again. I don't know what that is with these people. Believe we get going soon. The RRQ on the die side, already smoked up, ready to TP out and plant down some more. Zephyr once again in the 4 position. Alright, so let's try and figure this out. Bunch of region on a Shadow Shaman. So yeah. This is a core Shadow Shaman then, isn't it? Yeah. Wonder if they want to just again, they want to try and aggro this a little bit. Very curious. For Boom ID, almost straightforward. They're gonna lose mid no matter who they send in there, so it's might as well be a silencer. Try and get what you can. Nix Assassin at least can try and make stuff happen elsewhere on the map. He already has the boost to help them out with that. Kind of like RRQs line up much better because it's, once again, it's very clear what they do. They all synergize well with each other. As for Boomit, it's a little bit more shaky. They have some synergies again, as mentioned, especially with the global silence being the combo breaker here. That initiation / counter initiation potential from the Darks here. Once it gets a blink dagger up, is the thing. RRQ might just set a timing before that. And Sven also needs a little bit of time to really get online. I'm a little bit worried. Worried that they might just not have time. Okay. Mid-visage actually, okay. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Ugh. I was saying core visage, but then I kind of dismissed it in my mind. And just assuming that would be the support. But it is the mid-visage now, so for all the options, probably the best, because you have that range to at least stay away from the Viper. Still not ideal. Это просто нечто. Just of all the chat wheel sounds. Just bound. Like all sides, just chat wheels commands, voice lines. Oh well. Should be a good match. Always is with SEA. I touched on that in the last series. It's whenever I cast SEA Dota, it's always high octane. It's always a lot of action and a lot of fun to just spectate, if not a cast.
The battle begins.
Really in top form right now, also because I have to solo cast. Unfortunately, it's always a bit more difficult, but I'll try to do my best. Definitely enjoying casting, and hope you enjoy the cast as well. Anyway. Koala making his way down towards the bottom lane. His lane's been blocked out by Zephyr, once again doing the thing that Earthshakers do. Middle lane. I think this is the right way to deal with it. Try and annoy the Viper early when he's still somewhat susceptible. He went for the first point up in corrosive skin, so any sort of harassment that you do will be returned in kind. Especially with the damage over time spell for the silence. So I think he does almost does more damage to himself. I haven't done the math obviously, but that's something that you have to keep in mind. But it's rather now than later. When he gets extra point in corrosive skin, the nether toxin, the poison attack, we can actually lay waste to you in turn if you overextend. Especially if you're a slow hero like a silencer. But yeah, making the best out of a bad situation in the middle lane is still gonna fall behind, even with nether toxin. Yabi is 7 and 2. There's a creep wave coming in now, so Dream Cell can or Dreamer Cell can snack some velocity, can try and equalize that a little bit. Not particularly easy. Up there, Darkseer. Up against the Troll and the Witch Doctor. Try his best. Wouldn't be too hard to deal with at the same time, unless there's some more rotations. He also shouldn't really die as long as he has Surge. Look on bottom, and there's a stun actually on the Shadow Shaman. Oh, they're recommitting here. They still have one on the Assassin, holding onto it for long. Gets a stun on 2. Body blocks are real. Will they be able to get this kill here? 2 more right clicks, Fairy Fire, barely keeping him alive. Wow. Shadow Shaman core, yeah, and they're trying to make it work, but then you're offline, you're so far forward, you'd run down like this, especially if you don't have a Salve left. There's so much you can do. And one of your big disables is also disabling you, so up against a Trident it's worth literally nothing. Even if it was level 2, so. Other than that, if they manage to maintain equilibrium, if they manage to just keep things close, but damn, they really want to get this first blood, and they should be able to this time. 3 heroes wrapping around. And they're gonna give it to the Silencer. Easy +2. And there'll also be his boots, mix of wards, and the upgraded courier in 10 seconds time. Yeah, that's the problem with the Shadow Shaman. Very squishy if he does get caught out. No escape potential. Other than that, if you like manage to maintain equilibrium, if you just straight up laning 1v1, could actually be really good just because of that insane amount of lasted damage. 79. Sven sitting pretty good at 68. But it's yet another level up top on the Shadow Shaman. Alright. Zephyr, once again, trying to do his thing, misses the block. I think he can still walk up there anyway, so I'm not sure who would have met it. But yeah, no matter how this bottom lane goes, is the other thing. Right, RRQ, they're winning mid because it's a Viper, they're winning top because, well, they're up against the Darkseer with 2 heroes that can be ranged. Obviously Troll Warlord can switch in whenever he wants to. And the Darkseer sure is gonna farm, but he's not gonna have the same kind of impact, I don't think. Especially if he goes mech first this game. Oh, Zephyr coming in, try and be a bit annoying. Hoping that he might be low to kind of sneak a kill. But yeah, this still think that RRQ is gonna get online earlier. We'll see if that holds true or not. And meanwhile, mid gonna go for this kill. This is coming through. There he does have some health. Silencer. Bring out some spells onto Nabi, and that'll be enough interference at Visage. Actually able to stay alive just barely. No. Got the next assassin coming in as well, just showing us that he's on level 2, still holding on to 1 skill point. Needs this by Carapace, so if he wants to arrest somebody with the mana burn. Earthshake is still around here. That's the wrong one, they should figure that out, but still use a spell on it. Only fueled up, that's a lot of mana, 170 for Soul Assumption level 1. Biggest limiting factor of this hero. We really want to buff him and just take 10-20 mana off that spell, I think. He'll be fine. No, he's gonna shrine up anyway. Back up to full and Yeah. I mean, Witch Doctor's doing the stacks and pulls. Doing his thing. Free farm on a troll, more or less. Darkseer level 5. And if he goes mech, oh, it might be enough to turn things around if turns of like brawls and skirmishes and whatnot in the mid game. Goes blink. It also kind of depends on how close RRQ are to each other. Is the other thing. Right, any sort of lineup that heavily depends on this kind of execution also sometimes depends on the other team playing into it a little bit. Well, Cask, not gonna bounce too much. Gets cute, also making his way in. Does get the curse out. Now speaking of curse, Melodic there on Nyx Assassin dodging the stun here, left, right and center. Trying to do the mind games, but now the turnaround is there. Zephyr with the turnaround, with the fissure. No follow-up stun though, so the surge. We'll make sure Nyx Assassin stays alive. Melodic not lasting long enough. Now they might get the Lucas here, but nah, Melodic not enough. Witch Doctor actually... No, Witch Doctor actually first one to fall, noticed by Carapace, keeping Jokem alive. Just barely, the slow will connect. One... well, one's actually enough. I expected him to survive that actually, but I think I'm used to offlane Nyx Assassins that have the permanent shields. That would have been enough to protect him, but not this guy. They lose to Witch Doctor, but I gain a kill on the troll. That's a win in RRQ's book, I think. The lane still going well enough. Viper, he started to drop kind of low. We'll try and up now as a result, together with Zephyr. He filled up on mana, so now has the aftershock. So if you had level 3 up there, they could have gotten that secondary kill by cancelling a teleport. As it stands, okay, I missed that one. Ulti committed from Sven, was straight up walking up at him. Now they can actually do some damage to the tower with that Arcel. Oh no! I want to place a ward. And he did, to his credit, and they pinged out this high ground, so they plop a sentry there, it's not going to get rewarded either. So in that sense, mission accomplished, but well, losing a life is never ideal if you can avoid it. Similar for Koala here, I mean, he's just biding his time. He did die, sure, but yeah, it happens once again. Far forward, trying to get what you can, and then you get caught out, you have no escape. But regardless, he will be level 6. He is level 6 right now. So the Serpent Walls are available. If they want to throw them out here. And that is the Serpent Walls. The Shackles will be cancelled here. And the Fissure alone. Not enough they can save, but Zappis. Forcing out the stun and forcing out that starter step. Gave Shaman enough time to get in range to zap him down. So, bit unfortunate that you couldn't place the walls a little bit further forward. So, he could have chipped away at the tower afterwards, but it is what it is. Getting a kill on Sven, definitely worth it. It's a hero that if you let him farm, when he has max cleave like that, he can get to these items, can get Mask Commander's Blink. And that together with the God Strength is enough to take care, or to dispatch of these squishier targets. Like the Witch Doctor, like the Shadow Shaman, without much difficulty. And then, without having these kind of tools available in the middle of a team fight, you just have to retreat. You need that lockdown, you need that burst from the Ether Shock at this point. Right. Darkseer with the mana boots completed. Interesting to see that he already committed for the Soul Ring. But we'll go guarding Grease eventually, so it's not too uncommon.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Viper still doing his thing. That absolutely demolishing this mid lane. Twice the last hits that Visage has. If you look at the net worth, speaks the same kind of language here. Just about 1600 gold, 1700 gold ahead. Oh. What's Earthshaker doing there? Apart from dying. He was trying to intercept the jungle farm from Darkseer again. Rescue was there. That's another kill for him. +6 int already. Not too shabby as far as silencers are concerned. Middle lane though, they're gonna go on Yabi. This could turn around, but... Well, Grave Chill, hell of a spell, enabling him to throw John out of there. Never stun up. Yeah, just prevent him from stunning up the familiars, I think. Don't really want to feed those away at 100 gold each. What are they? Do they scale in bounty? I do forget. Grant high bounty when kills. Right. Bit of a stack here on the ancients. Another thing Sven can do. And with that, he'll just catch up quite a bit there towards the top net worth slot here. Troll Warlord. Still ahead by about 200 or so. Does have the Vlads, does have the face boots. Getting to a point where he can conceivably join fights whenever he wants to. Same for the Viper, who's now smoked up together with Asiel. Oh, they'll run straight into the next assassin. They don't have detection at the ready. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Gokam hitting his level 6 the best possible timing. Scouting out that wall placement. Now, even getting the kill. Getting it to the Sven. Not ideal. At the same time up top, Boom ID going for their own smoke rotation here. 3 heroes in the back of the Logic. That's not a whole lot he can do against that either, I don't think. I'll try and fight a little bit, but he's not even going to. Maybe if you pop this ultimate, if you right click just the Darkseer, get a couple lucky bashes, lifesteal enough to get that kill, but it's a far remote. It's a remote possibility, if nothing else. And now TP's on bottom, looking for more. Jabby gets stunned up. Joscam with a follow up at the ready here. Holds on to it for as long as he can. Now the ward's being thrown out though. That's a trap on the Sven. The turnaround is there. Global silence, not really preventing the right clicks that finish up the Sven. Yabi is still alive. Silencer gets tracked down with the right clicks as well. That was RRQ. Falling back into old habits. Just overextending, not really doing the math correctly. Underestimating the opponents just a slight amount that led them to kill there. Again, the ward's not in tower range, so that won't help you killing it, but it's so low anyway from all the pressure earlier. Yeah, but you will be able to finish it off. Still no detection on these supports though. Not a whole lot of money for Asiel, who Witch talked to. Not even 1,000 net worth to his name, so that's definitely part of it. Presence of an Invis here always drains away the support's resources. Yeah, Shadow Shaman. He got his Blink Rush straight to that, and now he can help out a little bit. Does have the dust to work with. Well, mid lane, Stan will land on the Earthshaker. They do have some follow-up on that burst damage that I was talking about. The cask. Oh, the perfect cask bouncing through a little bit. Long enough anyway, and Gold Warlord straight back to farming is... okay. Going for the familiars with the shackles, get one of them, vacuum, no instant follow-up though. What I was talking about, they just scatter. Got the one familiar, there's a resummon available. And use it. Okay. Gotta use the spell, dude. Gotta use the spell. Oh man. Even now, why is he not resummoning familiar? Is this bugged? Is this actually on cooldown and I don't know it?
Coin for me.
Like, come on, dude. Dude. Are you the kind of Visage player that's like, oh, I hate micro? It's gonna build Maelstrom. He's building Axe. He wants... I don't know. I'm just gonna keep the camera on him. I'm just gonna keep this hero here. Find out when he resummons the familiars. This is ridiculous. Smoke up at the same time from RRQ. They walk forward. They see... Koala sees him here. Throws out dust. The shackles. Will be cancelled by the familiars. Not quite enough damage here to bring him down, so that's a bit of a wasted ultimate. I guess he can farm the angels with it. Or can he? Familiars. Did we summon them at last? I guess trying to find the reason here is having that spell available when you team fight is okay. So you summon them right then and there when they're fresh, when they're with you, when they're not across the map. You can immediately make use of these damage charges. That's the reasoning that I would think is in Dreamer Soul's mind there. That makes a lot more sense. Because normally you just wanna put it on cooldown immediately, so you maximize the amount of time that you can use them to farm, to split push. But now if you use them in more of a team fight fashion, if you want to need to rely on that burst, you have them with you anyway. Does make a lot of sense. Right. Echo Saber now on Sven rather than the Blink. Interesting, but at the same time, you only really need the Blink when the Darkseer has his as well. So Darkseer blinks in, vacuum, you blink in straight up with a follow-up, and Darkseer just finished up the mechanism. So he's a bit away from that too. They should hit the blink timings. They should have very similar blink timings with these kind of item choices, and there's no question that Echo Saber is pretty damn good on the Sven.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Whenever you get close to somebody, you want to get as many right clicks in as possible with the big old god strength. It also allows you to just farm much more easily. Get around the map quicker, just spamming out the war cry without really having to worry about mana. And you still have to worry about this one. He's eating his way through the walls. Shackles have not been used immediately by Koala.
Dire's bottom tower is
Not sure what that was about. A bit of misplay, perhaps. I don't know. A wasted opportunity at the very least. So that's another set of wards on cooldown. They haven't used it for a tower push yet. It's a bit interesting. Like, there's still tier 1s to take that would be quite easy for them to just group up and push with the wards.
Fortunes change.
Maybe at the same time they could be very worried about that vacuum wall combo, especially if you group up towards the tower and in these natural choke points right here, right here. There's a possibility for vacuum coming out of the trees or something. Okay. Earthshaker. Will be able to stay alive, alright. We must sell. A little bit too far away to support an assassin with a bit of a gank. Top lane, global silence. Right. They vacuum, not quite back into the wall. Stun will still hit on the Witch Doctor, so they'll get him. That was quite costly. It was 3 ultimates committed. Didn't see what started that fire with it. I think they might have gone on the Darkseer with the Shackles or something that the global silence cancelled. Yeah, with that, space created. Put some pressure on mid. Darkseer with the TP still some mechanism available at the same time. Okay, yeah. Could be an easy kill if they wanted to go for it, but they're not committing here, rightfully so, because the rest of RRQ are coming in. They want to take this fight. The Hex comes up. Fallout control needs to happen on the Sven. The vacuum comes through. No fallout. The effort from the high ground here. The cast bouncing through. Visage proves to be extremely tanky here, and with the familiars, with the Soul Assumption, actually bringing down the Troll Warlord now. It's open water in the middle of the fight here. That's exactly where they want to be. And Yabi taking over. Once again, Koala might just die here to the familiars, and he will. As Yabi still trying to bring him down. 1, 2, 3 though. So much damage just from the drop downs here. Finally get that kill. But now Yabi's up against 3 heroes. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. The Echo Slam. Hello, Zephyr. Respawns, or just comes back with the Blink Dagger, utilizing that spell at last. That was a 4-for-4 trade in the end. Nobody won that. Going to metrics a little bit in favor of Silencer, in favor of RRQ. A lot of money towards the Visage. Going towards that the next item, Talisman of Fate. I don't think he lost so much gold either. And oh, this could be big. Also drop down with the familiar stone. Oh, they saw him. There was a sentry up there, and now the dust to follow up. He reveals himself though, and now the slow follow up. Still 3 familiars there with the minus armor. A lot of potential damage here. They focus it onto the Shadow Shaman, much easier kill, especially now since you lost all your charges. But you didn't lose the drop down charges. The logic now with another stone assumption dropping down so low, the cast will keep them away for a little bit. They'll find a stun here on the Witch Doctor. He will be another casualty. The 2 supports. Again, they are super squishy and it shows. Blink Dagger available now on Sven. Not quite for Darks here, but when they get this tower, he'll be getting close.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, it's not over. Never over with this Visage guy. Alright, I was wrong to ever even doubt him, but it looks a bit.
Dire's middle tower has
Yeah, he's using these familiars as a not as a split pushing tool, but as a burst damage tool, just keeping them with him at all times. And now, okay, Zephyr, you'll find the Wrath. Now easy farm on the on the wards. This is such a good counter. I never considered that. But yeah, they attack 1,000,000 times a second.
Dire's middle tower
So Durban was absolutely useless. Now great stun there from Jokem. That's another one down. RRQ falling apart at the seams right now. I'm gonna. Oh no. Should be fine, especially with all these heals. Yeah, Maldic not doing enough. Stone level 2.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Also was worried because you went right back in. Also still worried because of the Sven is so scary right now. They can go high ground.
Fortified.
Especially with the Earthshaker down. That's the one big teamfight ultimate that sets up everything else for RRQ.
Is under attack.
And they don't have it for 20 seconds. God Strength going, that's a tier 3 at least. Death Ward cast though, yeah, it's a tall order perhaps, vacuum wall, maybe not. They can't take this fight now with Yabi caught in front like this. Global Silence help out a little bit. Troll Water with TP in the back. Trying to find an opening. All he does is just create enough chaos for RRQ to decide to fall back.
Dire's top shrine
Boom
is
ID.
under attack.
These logos are still similar in terms of color up though. I was confused for a second. Right. Smoke that Roshan potential target. But they want more. They have Jokem leading the charge. He's in this. This is a bad Witch Doctor. Is it here? They go for the first blow, but Silence is not quite there just yet. The vacuum wall after the stun. The Echo Slam comes through. Try and control the Sven. Jokem, well, he's dropping lower and lower. He might die too, and he will. Logic in the Abbey. The right points. In this particular fight, Earthshaker gets cracked down though by Sven. As well as the Darks. He has a 3-for-2 trade in the end. At least the core survived. Out of RRQ, that's all I can really ask for. They need some more items. Well, Warlord has had an overclock, perhaps going towards the BKB, now switching. What's that Shadow Blade? Very tough call, the itemization in this game, but they need some way of getting information, some way of going in and finding these openings for the Earthshaker, because he's certainly not going to get a Shadow Blade anytime soon. So if Troll Warlord actually goes for the Shadow Blade, he changed his mind again. Back for the Black King Bar, which is just as important, man. That's the thing, when you fall behind like this, you need 2 items. You really want 2 or 3 items, but you have to settle for 1 and hope for the best. In this case, it's a BKB. Absolutely crucial against Silencer, the Sven stun, Darkseer control, everything really from the Nyx Assassin. And just a minus armor from the Solar Crest.
Radiant structures are fortified.
No joking. Should be fine. Yeah. Only out of center range. Not breaking Vendetta. Very disciplined thing to do in logic. Ho ho ho. Nothing left to cancel the TPs here, so both of them went on by an angry red Sven, but not enough to kill them. Speaking of killing, Gorkham actually runs into another sentry, so nicely played. Pretty sure they knew they were gonna take this path 2 minutes in advance, so that's why they placed down the sentry. Yeah, freebies like that can only help. Extra money towards the Vipers. Also working on the BKB now. As crucial as it is for the Troll Warlord here for the exact same reasons. So if they get some time now to finish up these BKBs, then they have the potential to take a good fight on the back of that. And try and equalize this game out a little bit. Until then, there's still a bit of an opening for Boom ID if they want to maybe take Roche, if they go for more pickoffs. Speaking of pickoffs, almost losing their Darkseer. It actually stays alive now. The turnaround is there. Zephyr will be the sacrifice. Bit unfortunate. Especially now if they catch a larger Jokum. But the right place, always there at the right time. Follow up control is there with the familiars. This is a great kill. Be tier 1, they're gonna be able to turn this into a tier 2 as well. I don't think they really care too much for the mid tower at this point. And, also draw a line here. They can get the creep wave close to the base, they can even focus on the mid racks if this is not responded to. There's a nerf shaker coming back in a couple of seconds. No Echo Slam, use that for the gank attempt down bottom. Top lane also being pressured here. RRQ trying the best to make them think twice, but they're not. There's a glyph, will be used now. Middle down to half health. Can they defend this? Can they keep the Rex alive? More to the point. Maybe. The Hex, vacuum wall though. Hex will expire. BKB, the stun, only on one. The Shrine's going as well, but they did get what they came from. They did get the melee Rex. They will lose a couple of their familiars here. Will be resummoned this time, so only got the one. That was a good push there from Boom ID. Don't give up too much. Get the racks, get out. Mind you, it was all a push without Roshan. This is also something that they can consider whenever they have the Solar Crest, they have the damage for it for sure. Gold draft for momentum. Keeps building slowly but steadily, regardless. RRQ, they need to find a solution to this. This might be it. BKB is done. For both, I think. BKB on Yabi. BKB on Logic, yeah. Of course, we'll have BKBs. Pushing down bottom. I'll get this tier 2 for free. They will need the Viper for it though, and Viper is actually in a tough position right now if they would choose to go for him instead. But there's a ward spawning out some of these movements. RRQ will feel comfortable about the positioning. At least they are though. At least they're playing like they are, but still very dangerous indeed. Little did I know they're not on Roche. Zephyr might actually be tracked down here. It's only the silencer. Someone that can juke and jive inside these trees.
Dire's top tower is under
Arcane Curse unfortunately cancelling the blink always, and he's forced to constantly use spells, so it will take him out eventually, especially with the second one being applied. And it's it's actually the familiars who get the kill. Meanwhile the fight goes on and down here. Global Science cancelling the shackles, but joking. Around not dodging the stuns, but Carapace keeping alive a little bit longer here. They need to track him down. Therefore, even used to secure that kill. Meanwhile, in the back, BKB used, but oh, look at this physical damage. Jabby, oh, the cast momentarily saving him. Now the BKB used there. Sven, he is faster, especially with the surge coming forward. He will finish up the Viper, and now looking for more. The stun will miss next to the blink of logic. He's on the run though, slowed down by the Echo Saber. Plenty of help coming in now. The Surge on the Darkseer, that's the vacuum available. Logic turns to fight with the BKB. Never mind, just use it to run away at the last of his teammates. Again, the sacrifice.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Not exactly what they wanted. They had to commit so much for the assassin because of the global silence. And that meant that we're kind of strung along a little bit. And it's just a feast, ripe for picking here for a hero like a Sven. Especially with all the ability that he has innately, between the War Cry, the Bling, the Mask of Madness. At the Surge on top of that, very hard to deal with. Now, they're finally gonna take Roshan themselves. It's something that RRQ were hoping to avoid, but staring down the barrel of it now. It's the double BKB reveal essentially. 10-second charges down the drain. It's the thing, right? That's what I was saying. You need more than one item. The BKB is great against most of their stuff, but it's not going to protect you against this crazy amount of physical damage that's coming out from the Sven, even the familiars, even without the Solar Crest applied. When they're all fueled up, even if he has 2 charges, like right now, yeah, max damage. We're pretty close. So if you then resummon them at this point, like, alright, you have 1 burst of damage and then another burst of the same damage. It's quite a lot. What can you do against this? Hurricane Pike is a good start. Viper needs to try and keep the Sven away from him. The item for him. For Troll Warlords, Young Diffusal, like maybe Halberd would be the way to go. Would be another option. You can even disassemble Stunts and Yasha for it. That's something that can keep the Sven off your back for a while. Maybe even running low, so get the Halberd off on the Sven before possibly BKB. That's potential quite a few seconds wasted. Any other items that we missed? Links, 4 staffs. Lot of ATOS on the Visage. Pretty standard so far. 16k gold advantage now. 29 to 13 is kill score. They're not out of it by any means. Need to actually just try and find the kills. And to have some time to actually lay into somebody as a Troll Warlord, because it doesn't have too many damage items. Vacuum Walls onto 2 Global Silence to cover their backs. They instantly annihilate Shadow Shaman. Shaker gets the blink out, but he will be tracked down by these familiars. There's no hiding from these. Ouch. Saint Lucas with the play-by-play.
Invisibility.
That's 2 easy kills. Just adding on top of that advantage. Oh no, logic. Seems kind of close. But at the same time, okay, that's done missing. Abortion. That stun lands, Sven should be able to untouch closer distance quick enough.
Whoa, look at it go!
Alright. Smoked up now. Alright, they want to force it. They can get a pick off here. Might be another set of racks. Especially if it's someone like Gabby. They rely on his damage output. He's showing himself. And there it is. The stun, the 4-star forward at the same time. They just instantly annihilate him. Doesn't have buyback either. That is Atos also on the silencer trying to set up for more. The vacuum on 3 heroes, but the BKB, the instant scatter, will still almost be able to finish up the Witch Shock that heals. Almost enough here, but just long enough. Set him up for a double kill for Inyo G. Make it a triple, not quite. St. Lucas claiming that one for himself, and that'll be Zephyr dying up top. There's his triple kill. The GG is called. No way to repel this particular push now, and Boom ID. Pretty good performance, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very impressed. Too many mistakes. Able to dodge out that mid-game timing from RRQ. They're able to kind of play, find openings here and there. Find the farm that they needed on Sven, the Visage player as well. Absolutely what gave them a huge boon in this game. Bimosal. Excellent performance. 12-1 and 11. 12-3 and 6 on the Sven. Yeah. So yeah, they win game number 1 in this best of 3 series. Game number 2 will be starting soon. As you can see, the lobby's already up. So I'm gonna take a short break. Don't go too far away. This might just be the very last game of the day coming up. As I say that, the very last game of the SEA qualifiers, because there's still EAS and A after that. So stay tuned on this channel.